Hello, my friends. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. As always, if you're here, please kind of put a like before we commence. Say hi in the chat so I know that you're here. And as always, before we begin, if you want to join my private Patreon group, you can do so by following this link, and also it's going to be left in the comments down below in the description of this video. Today, we're going to talk about basically what the market is doing. So lately, first of all, what I want to talk about is what I'm happy to see is that from the bottom, XRP has pumped more than both Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum has pumped a little bit more than Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has pumped the least. So Bitcoin was up roughly 100%, Ethereum a little bit more, and XRP over 200%. What I like about this is really straightforward. So just like in the last cycle, when everything was going in accordance to plan before the SEC lawsuit hit, XRP had pumped more than both Bitcoin and Ethereum percentage-wise, and it had done so sooner, despite the last moves coming closer to the end of the cycle. Yeah, but what's important here is that basically, if you look at what happened before when cycles are normal, and you could just basically rely on TA alone without the SEC narrative that really messed up the pump, basically, you will see that XRP always outperformed Ethereum, and Ethereum always outperformed Bitcoin, and Bitcoin still performs well. So what happened in the last cycle, Ethereum outperformed Bitcoin because it was not touched by the SEC, and then Bitcoin performed well because it was not touched by the SEC. But XRP was supposed to outperform Ethereum and was doing just that before the lawsuit hit. Percentage-wise, it was up more. It was up sooner than both of those coins in terms of time frames. So everything was going in according to plan. XRP was doing what it was supposed to do. Then the lawsuit hit, and of course, I retweeted that picture recently on Twitter. I believe in one day XRP was down 53% that day when it got sued, and altogether it crashed roughly 72 or 73% of the SEC news, while the whole market was going up, and BTC had just breached its all-time high. And as we know, what altcoins do when Bitcoin breaches all-time high, that many of these altcoins, especially blue chips, follow and start pumping. So it was a targeted hit at the XRP community. Was a targeted hit at XRP. I believe the reason is very simple. As Brad Garlinghouse stated himself that day, that SEC was picking losers and winners. Why was SEC doing that? Well, it's very simple. Because the narrative of the use case is that basically it's threatening the SWIFT system for international settlements, right, and transfers. Ethereum is too expensive to do that. The gas fees are crazy, especially during the bull market, and Bitcoin is too slow. Now, whereas XRP is much faster and slower to transact, and can accomplish that if everything goes according to plan in a long time, basically. That being said, once again, I'm happy to see that currently XRP pumped over 200% from the bottom, more than both Bitcoin and Ethereum. What's great about this cycle is that now that the SEC FUD is gone, the whole situation is gone. That's wonderful. No matter what the Bitcoin maximalists are saying out there, now it's etched into stone. Now it's written in law that XRP is not a security. So, they can say whatever they want, but it's law. It's not a theory. It's not what we think. It's law. Now, major exchanges like Coinbase have relisted XRP, which is also very important because now, when basically this cycle comes to its fruition, over 100 million people will have access to XRP. People who never were able to buy XRP on exchanges like Coinbase before will be able to buy it now, and there's no reason to stay away from XRP anymore. So that's a good thing that we got going for XRP. Another thing that I want to talk about that recently, when we had huge pumps, we had this narrative that XRP is about to keep pumping and keep going. I just retweeted, just posted a tweet on Twitter what we were expecting at 88 cents for XRP. It was a correction to 51 to 59 cent area. We already struck 65 cents today. So instead of going up over $1 immediately, as many were expecting for some reason, and all this crazy TA was out there, we're expecting a retracement. It was very straightforward. It was quite an easy reason. Let's see. So let's see the latest tweet. The latest tweet was, so what I tweeted was XRP was already corrected to 65 cents. While Twitter and YouTube were predicting immediate move targets, this is what we were expecting at 88 cents. I go on to say, I do believe XRP will pump well, but in euphoria phase with the rest of the coins that will deliver. And we're nowhere near the euphoria phase. Anyway, and the picture that's basically there in the tweet. It says, recently XRP had a fantastic bump, and more importantly, it reached the crucial resistance level in the 74 to 83 cent region, reaching 88 cents and thereby putting in the highest price in the last 434 days. Big move, big moment. Congratulations to the XRP investors. So that was all wonderful. Great to see that. Now, please kindly take a look at chart number 1 attached to this post. Now, unfortunately, you can't see the chart. It's on Patreon only. You will see that big corrections are very common with XRP after big sudden moves. You'll also see that XRP does nothing for a long time and then pump violently, like it did yesterday. But I digress. Since big moves are often met with big corrections, it would make a lot of sense for XRP to revisit the 51 to 59 zone shown on the chart, as that's the breakout area that served as a double bottom back in 2021, and then a double top in 2022 and 2023. So it was a very easy and straightforward reason why I believe that we're going to correct there. We're at 65 cents. I believe that we're going to correct further. Once again, as I stated earlier, at 88 cents, I did not sell any XRP because it's too low to sell, and I did not buy any XRP because it's too high to buy. I'm still not buying XRP at these prices. Is still up too much, and I'll only buy XRP at much lower prices, and my patrons will know when I'm basically buying XRP. What else can I say? As always, we are basically in the phase in the market. We just have to be patient, hold the bags that we've accumulated. We've got some great entries that we got near the bottoms, dollar cost averaging and diversifying with several different coins. So we've got some great entries. What we have to do is now temporarily, like if the market crashes further, temporarily hold up at a loss and keep dollar cost averaging at new lows only. Meaning, for example, let's say if you bought a coin at $3, you don't buy it, and then it pumped to 10, you don't buy again if it goes to 5 or 3. That's not new lows. So if you bought a 3, it will have to go to something like 2. That's a new low. So you add the equal amount that you bought with at $3. So let's say you spent $1,000 at $3. Now you can spend $1,000 at $2. And if you want to spend another $1,000, it has to be at new lows again. So let's say it's $1, right? So dollar cost average equal amounts only at new lows, which is exactly what we have been doing after major crashes, which is exactly what we've been doing. And now we're not forcing entries. And if we're going to buy more, we're only going to buy more if the market gives us new lows, which means that Bitcoin would have to go under 15K. Ethereum would have to go below $980. XRP would have to go under 30 cents. Basically, these kind of prices, right? Otherwise, we hold what we have, and we only add at lower prices. If the market never goes there, we hold. We do not add. We await major pumps. We start taking profits. So we're neutral. We're neither bearish nor bullish. Like back when Bitcoin was around 60K, we were bearish. We're selling and setting trailings to take profits, and we got out of the market. When everything was crashing hard and Bitcoin was around 15 and 20K, we were much more bullish, and that's why we were buying and executing entries there. Right now, we're neutral because the market has bounced and it's making higher highs and higher lows. We don't know whether or not we're going to get further entries, but we do know that we're only going to force those entries and buy those entries if we get better prices, where we can bring down the average in our bag so that in the future we get better ROI once the market hits the euphoria phase where it peaks and we get out of the market to start setting stop losses and trailing take profits. Until then, we do nothing. So we are going to trade a little bit as we have done in the past while we're awaiting these crashes. If we get some good opportunity, we'll swing trade with little percentages here and there, but they're not big percentages of our bags. As you know, I don't like to trade with a lot of my coins, like with the big percentage of my holdings. The reason being because if you look at historically every single coin that has pumped in the euphoria phase, you will see that trading got in the way after major crashes. So if you start trading after a 90% crash, roughly, it's not a good idea because you're going to miss the majority of the move once euphoria phase hits. Yes, you have to be patient. You have to wait a lot, but the ROI is much greater on the coins that do deliver. Of course, there are coins that are going to go to zero. Of course, there are coins that are going to do okay, and of course, there are going to be coins that are going to do exceptionally well. It doesn't matter about the coins that go to zero because the coins that perform exceptionally well will even things out and deliver great gains, and therefore the losers will not matter, right? That's why the strategy is what it is. Let's say hi to everybody. I'm sorry, my friends, I got a little bit carried away there, so let's see what people are saying. Rossoneri, hello, my friend, good to see you here. Sergio, hello there, bud, how are you doing? I read your DM today on Patreon, brother, good to have a member here. SRP Tiny Papa Butterhoke is saying zero doubt. Okay, brother, appreciate that comment, thank you. Aaron S, hello from Iowa. Rob, when are you coming to the States? Aaron, hope you're doing well there, brother. I don't know, my friend. I don't know. I will eventually because I do want to visit New York. I want to see LA, Vegas probably, but the number one thing I want to see is New York. Probably during like the Christmas time. Probably take my family there. I've been told that it's quite dangerous though. Is that true? Like I've been told it's quite dangerous. My father used to go there often for like work related and business and basically banking visits. But from what I've been told, it's quite dangerous. So that's true, right? From what I hear. So I don't know. Like once you go there, you probably need what like a bodyguard or two or something. Let me know, you ask friends. Let me know. SRP bull, the only crypto to have clarity. Yeah, that's a big plus. That's a big plus that we have on XRP. That XRP has regulatory clarity. I love that. TT is saying hello, legend. Waiting for new entries. Yeah, TT. Hello, brother. How you doing? Oh, my friend Andrew X Crypto is here. He says, "Hey, bro, how you doing, brother? Good to see you, bro. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your time." The man from Chicago is here. Hello there, bud. How you doing? W. Taylor says, "Good afternoon, Rob from the UK. Hey there, brother." Rainy Steps. Hello, Rob. What do you think about Tezos? XTZ? I think once again, it's a project that you think that can pump into euphoria stage, throw a little money at it without favoring it over other coins in the portfolio. I always think if you like a coin, go for it. Do I have XTZ in my portfolio? I don't think I have XTZ in my portfolio. I don't think I have any. I'm pretty sure I don't. I have a lot of coins, but I'm pretty sure I don't have XTZ. I would have to check. The man from Chicago says NYC is a wild place. Definitely stay safe always. Really? So it's dangerous, yeah? T Smoke, do you think we will see $60,000 Bitcoin again? It's a very good question. I don't know. And currently, the market is making higher highs and higher lows. As long as the higher lows hold, which is basically the most important indicator for me of a bullish momentum or bearish momentum. So basically, higher lows, number one indicator of bullish momentum. The moment any high low in the macro didn't hold, we started having bear market or Bitcoin crash very hard, like during the COVID crash, for example. Who's that? I wonder. Just a second, my friends. Yeah, that was interesting. I'm sorry about that. Random. Somebody random rang the bell. My wife went to see what it is. But where was I? Yeah, we're making high highs and high lows. Basically, the moment higher low did not hold, Bitcoin crashed hard. So far, it's holding. So as long as those hold, everything is fine. If some higher low on the macro doesn't hold, I'll of course let all my patrons know. And then it's very possible, because every single time that happened, that we're either in a bear market, or that one succession we had the COVID crash, which was 72%, which was basically pretty much a bear market crash, because this time Bitcoin crashed 78%. So let's see. Another very important indicator in the bear market, same thing, lower lows, right? So whenever lower lows are made, we're in a bear market. The moment we see a higher low on a macro, we're out of the bear market after roughly an 80% crash. So far we are out, and all we have to do is wait and see. All I can tell you is this, right? The question, T-Smoke, the question shouldn't be, will we see $60,000 Bitcoin? Because for me, it doesn't matter, in the sense that I concerned myself with that back in the day when it was at $60,000 and I was selling, because I did believe that we're going to see roughly a $16,000 Bitcoin, which is where my members and I bought, where we dollar cost averaged. We waited for roughly 70 to 80 and 90% crashes, bought after roughly 70%, 80% crash, but 90% crash never happened. So to answer your question is this: I no longer concern myself whether or not it will go there. That moment where I had to concern myself is over. We bought there. But you see, like, some other entries do not hit. So if I would have to buy Bitcoin again, my question is, will it go lower than 16K and 15K and much lower? If it does, I'm ready. I have money on the side. And if that money and entries never hit, I'm going to miss out with that amount of money, particularly that was allocated to buy Bitcoin at a certain price, and with other coins to buy them at certain prices, right? You cannot force entries, because you never know what's going to happen in the market 100%. And you don't, frankly, need to know. You don't need to be perfect, right? So what we've done so far, if you've been a member, is good enough. Waiting for huge crashes, dollar cost average to new lows, got great entries. Further, other entries did not hit. They have not hit. You don't force, and you don't take that money and start chasing other coins and basically jumping from one coin to another, right? That money is left untouched. You just leave it be. because it's very possible what has happened in the last 2 cycles. It's very possible that these crashes will come, because don't forget that Bitcoin crashed like 70% after having crashed like 70 or 80% the last time. That Ethereum crashed like 80% after an 85% crash last time. Like, my point is, there can still be major crashes after a major crash, and you have to be prepared for these crashes. You have to make sure that you have the money to bring down your average and have great ROI once everything pumps in the euphoria phase. Will it happen? Nobody knows. I do not know. I'm not going to pretend that I know. But I do know that the strategy that is designed and what is in the Millionaire spreadsheet and what my patrons and I follow is that we have money on the side right now. I mean, the Millionaire spreadsheet starts with that. Basically, you had about a year wait for the market to crash and put together $10,000, which you will then allocate into several different altcoins in an accumulation phase. So you did have roughly a year to put that money together. Roughly after a year, we bottomed where we had 15K. So I don't know if it's the bottom, but it was definitely a local bottom where we started accumulating. And we accumulated a lot of coins at different prices. And we did not get some other entries, so we did not buy there. So, for example, let's say you put together 10K, you usually certain entries, you have some money left on the side. You don't force entries without money. You keep it on the side, and only if entries hit, you diversify and dollar cost average in accordance with the strategy. And at one point, if you got all entries, great. If you didn't, well, once the market starts pumping, you start selling, and that's that. I don't know. I hope it makes sense, my friend. Ken James says New York is not as dangerous as it was in the 80s. Giuliani cleaned it up in the 90s. Okay, my friend. Chris Dinoff, another member here. Good to see you here, brother. Thank you for joining. Boo Mansour is saying, hello, Rob. You rent or own in Dubai, and why? Boo Mansour, once again, I'm not going to mention these kind of things about my personal life on here on the YouTube live. So, my friend, if you want to know, send me a DM and I'll tell you in person, I'll tell you, my friend. Crystal C, NYC is dangerous and you need to plan your trip. Stay in higher rated hotels. Visit WYVE or Mariposa, California, and visit Yosemite. The people are friendly and will go out of their way to help you. Okay, thank you, Crystal C. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. JCB saying, are we still going to 7 to 13, or will it be more, or will it be less? Thanks. JCB, I do believe that XRP is going to go eventually to $7 to $13 in the euphoria stage. I believe that, as I've mentioned, when XRP was at 88 cents, and once again, people were saying we're about to see a turbo moon. I kept saying that I do not think is going to happen now, that I believe is going to happen in the euphoria stage of the market, which is not coming soon. We're going to have to be patient, and I keep reiterating, and I reiterate now that patient XRP investors, I believe, will be rewarded. So yeah, I believe that XRP is going to go there. But once again, just because I believe XRP is going to go there does not mean that we will not be setting trailing take profits, which basically functions kind of stop losses to get out in a great profit as the market pumps. So maybe we'll be stopped out before 7 to 13. As I keep reiterating, the problem with moon targets, there's nothing wrong with moon targets. The problem with moon targets is if you're not setting trailing stop losses, right, and getting out of the market once they hit. Having a moon target is fine as long as you're basically, let's say basically we have we're expecting XRP to go $7 to $13. Let's say it's gone to $1.50. You raise your take profit. If after having bought at 30 cents, you raise your take profit, let's say at 90 cents. Now XRP has gone to $2.50. You raise your take profit $1.80. Now it has gone to, I don't know, $5. You raise it to, let's say, $3.80, right? So on and so forth. So as long as you keep raising your take profit and and if it's hit, you fully get out of the market and you basically forget about your moon targets. Too bad you didn't get the moon targets, but you're still out in great profit. And you just outperformed 80% of the market because 80% of people who invest in crypto have lost money. And you only buy back after huge crashes and you ignore the rest of the pump, you're going to do very well. Once again, you're going to outperform 80% of the market. So do not expect perfection. Do not expect every single target to have to be met. Do not expect perfection from yourself. One thing I've learned in crypto, as I've mentioned when we're launching the Millionaire spreadsheet, for example, that not every single entry is going to be hit. So far, that's exactly what happened, and not every single take profit is going to be hit. The whole point of the strategy is, and what you should strive to do as an investor in crypto and speculative markets, is buy low, sell high, buy very low, sell very high. Without perfection. Rough estimates are good enough. That's even what it says in the spreadsheet. Rough estimates are good enough. As long as you're buying low, selling high, you're doing very well. You're outperforming the majority of the market participants, right? So, yeah. That's that. You keep right by it. Hello, my friend. Good to see you here. Please kindly put a like, my friends, if you're here. Once again, let's see what I'm up to. So basically, I answered all the Patreon members in the DMs. Once again, if you remember, make sure that you send me a DM on Patreon. I'll do my best always to help you and answer all your questions. Also, I've been working currently on XRP take profit strategy. Like I said, I'm trying to do my best, and I keep adjusting and tweaking it because I want to achieve the best possible result. It might take some time. Anyway, you have nothing to worry about because the pumps are not coming soon, as I mentioned. They're going to come in euphoria stage. XRP is never pumped by itself ever in the market. The only exception was when XRP went live and had a 210% pump back in like 2018 or 2019. And once again, we had all the utility and use case people saying that the price is going up because of utility and the use case, because XRP just went live and therefore XRP for price is flying, or we're about to see $1,000 overnight or over a month and flip the switch and all that basically teddy bear ridiculous kindergarten nonsense. Of course, it was just a speculative pump driven by FOMO and retail FOMO and believing all that BS that was being spewed out there. And what happened is that you have 210% pump. It was unsustainable, and XRP dumped to new lows and crashed to 10 cents. So, and that's when basically my 15-cent target was hit, which I had to wait for a very long time. And yeah, XRP pumps with the rest of the market. The majority of altcoins and 99% of coins out there pump with the rest of the market. There are very few exceptions out there in the market. Like, for example, the last cycle was Link that kept going up. Maybe there'll be some exceptions this cycle, but your chances of catching those is like 1% out of 100, which is basically, I mean, you have to be extremely lucky to get that. I've never been able to do that. And despite buying Link, also having Link in my portfolio in the last cycle, making good money off it. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that 99% of coins that do pump in the euphoria stage of the market. And why I just said that do pump, because once again, I have to be realistic, understand that there are going to be coins in the portfolio that go to zero, literally zero. There are going to be coins in your portfolio that do okay, or maybe you would even think of it as underperform and not meet your expectations. And then there are going to be coins in the portfolio that outperform and do better than your expectations, which is exactly why you diversify, right? Which is exactly why you have so many different coins in your portfolio with different narratives: meme coins, AI coins, gaming coins, NFT coins, use case coins with different utility, like, for example, cross-border payments, I don't know, smart contracts. You get the point, basically. All that good stuff. VD50 saying, hey Rob, love what you do. Which coin do you feel have the most potential in the next bull run? Thanks. Hello, brother, and thank you for the nice comment. I appreciate that. I do not know which coin has the biggest potential. I do not favor one coin over another, in the sense that, of course, I favor some blue chips over small caps. But I mean, I do believe that you should not favor one blue chip over another blue chip. I do not believe that you should favor one mid cap over another mid cap, or one small cap over another small cap. Like, I think that some blue chips are going to do better than small caps. I believe some small caps will do better than some blue chips. I believe some mid caps will do better than some blue chips, and some blue chips will do better than some mid caps. I believe that it's all a game of probabilities and percentages and math, and basically increasing your chances of just catching huge bumps. I believe that favoring one coin is a very risky business, because of course you might get lucky and it might be the new Doge of this cycle that'll give you a crazy ROI, and you'll basically become a multi-millionaire with tens of millions of dollars in quick. But the likelihood of that happening is very low, because there are currently nearly 30,000 coins out there, and if you get that one coin, what are the chances? Excuse me. But if you diversify and you pick up some small caps, mid caps, blue chips, and you're diversifying into different coins with different narratives, like I just said, AI coins, gaming coins, utility coins, use case coins, meme coins, NFT coins, you name it, basically, right? You just name it. Then your chances are up substantially. Now, all of a sudden, the probability of you catching their huge pumps are much higher. So I don't believe in any coin doing better than other coin. What I've learned is basically not to think that way. What the market experience, with the experience that I have in the markets, because, for example, just like last cycle, like I said, I expected Ethereum to do better than Bitcoin. I expected Bitcoin to do roughly 1,500% pump. It did a 2,000% pump. Then I believe that Ethereum would do more than that. It did, and then I believe XRP would do both more both than Bitcoin and Ethereum, and XRP did not do that. Right, this time around, maybe XRP will do more than both of them, and that should be the case. But once again, we don't know that, which is exactly why we're diversified into Bitcoin and Ethereum and other blue chips and mid caps and small caps, but also why we have XRP in our portfolio, because we do believe that XRP might be one of those coins that will deliver exceptionally well in the euphoria stage. I hope I answered that, my friend. The thing about me is that I'm not a hype guy. I'm not the moon guy. As you probably know by now, I'm not the guy who's going to tell you that you should buy this coin. That's my favorite coin. It's just not the way that it works with me. I'm a guy who's always keeps it real and realistic. I'm the guy who tells people the hard truth and what they don't want to hear. I'm the guy who tells people what they need to hear and where to make money in this market. And what the people need to hear in this market is exactly what I just voiced a few seconds ago. That's the strategy that you need to have. You have to make sure that you're well diversified and that you stick to the rules. And that you stay away from emotions, and you stay basically cold-hearted and logical. It's all very important, basically. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate the likes. Thank you very much, my friends. I appreciate the likes. T-Smoke says, can you see XRP getting back to its all-time high during this bear market? During the bear market, I don't think any coin is going to get to its all-time high during the bear market. T-Smoke, did you mean the bull market, which is basically what is commonly referred to? I relate to it as the euphoria stage. I use the bull market phrase sometimes to make it more easy for especially newcomers to understand, but I don't think of the market as the bear market and bull market. The way I think of the cycle of a market is that there's a phase where you wait for the market to crash, then there's the accumulation phase, then there's the excuse me, my friends. And then there's the phase where you start taking profits, which is basically the euphoria phase, the last 200 to 300 days of the market, where you start trading, take profits and stop losses, and you start laddering out with profits. And even if your targets are not met, even if not a single target with any coin is met, it doesn't matter. As long as you're getting out in great profits, that's what matters, because once again, you're outperforming the majority of the market. Of course, you need to have targets based on TA, which is exactly what I do. Because you have to have an understanding what the market is going to do, more or less. But the point I'm trying to make is that you don't need perfection. And getting stopped out with great profit earlier is okay. You don't need to buy the bottom or sell the top. As long as you're getting great ROI, that's all that matters. You have to keep in your mind, once again, that as long as you got in the market, and even if you got out with something like, let's say you got stopped out too early and you got out with something like even 500% instead of the 5,000% that you expected, the rules are that basically you got out if you got stopped out in great profit, and you ignore further pumps no matter how high the coin goes, and only buy back after huge crashes, right? So if you follow the rules, you're going to miss out on huge pumps on some of these coins, but they're also going to keep you safe. But once again, if you sold with a 500% pump, like if you just look at statistics, you outperform 80% of the market, because the majority out there is not even going to sell any coin for 500% profit, simply because people do not buy at the right time. Most of people, they start buying and falling into the coin when they shouldn't. And because even when they're up a lot, they don't want to take profits, because they start reading about these new targets and believing that everything's going to go up, because of course they like the idea of it, because they're going to make even more money. So they get greedy. So, you have to have rules that you have to stick to. But yet, T-Smoke, to answer your questions, I believe that XRP very likely we'll see a new all-time high in the euphoria stage. Once again, I'll be taking profits before that, and XRP will not be exception to any other coin out there. I will be adjusting take profits as a coin pumps. So the harder XRP pumps and the harder any coin in my portfolio pumps, I'm going to be setting a trailing take profit, no matter how high the target is. And once it's hit, if it's hit during a retracement, I'm selling that specific coin that's hit, and I'm getting out of the market and only buying back after huge crashes and ignoring the pumps, no matter how huge they are, because I don't have to obsess over any other coins, since I have so many coins in my portfolio, and some coins are just going to keep going vertical, like Doge, for example, in the last cycle, or ADA, with the corrections here and there. So it doesn't really matter. Thomas Horton, good to see you here, my friend. Thank you for joining. Boo Mansour is saying, what is the most crypto-friendly bank in UAE and in the world? In the world, that's a great question, my friend. I know that currently for me in the UAE, I would say, once again, I don't want to answer that publicly because then people will know which banks I use, and God knows who's watching. So send me a DM, my friend, and I'll tell you two banks that I use that so far I have not had problems with. It does not mean I will not have problems with them in the future, but I will tell you what they are. 200% dump to the downside. BB, that's funny. Crazy people who think XRP will touch again 1.92 cents. I don't think they're crazy, my friend. I do believe that XRP has huge potential to hit 1.92 cents in the euphoria stage of the market. Now that the SEC fear narrative is gone and it's been relisted on major exchanges like Coinbase that has tens of millions of members who have easy access to it now, which they did not back in the day. XRP was, outperforming both Ethereum and Bitcoin before it got sued by the SEC percentage-wise, and time frame-wise, it was up more. And in the last cycle, before the penultimate cycle, it outperformed both coins, ROI-wise. So I'm not sure that it's unreasonable. I'm not even sure. I don't think it's not reasonable. So basically what you're saying right now is what I kept retweeting back in the day, right? So anybody who says that new all-time high and like $7 or $6 are not realistic for XRP basically used to say the same thing about Bitcoin, that $50,000 was not realistic, and that basically like $4,000 were not realistic for Ethereum. But both coins did that. And the reason that both coins did that is because they were not sued by the SEC, so there was no fear narrative hanging over them, and people kept buying them. And also, they were not delisted from exchange, so once again, people could buy them, like on Coinbase. And the reason why XRP was singled out, it was singled out. That's why it didn't do good. It's very straightforward and simple, right? People did not have access to it. It was much more difficult to buy, and those that even had access to it on other exchanges, that like means that you had to register and go on other exchanges, did not want to buy it because of the fear narrative surrounding it. And even then, it pumped 2,000%, as much as Bitcoin in the last cycle, outperforming many, even the majority of altcoins out there, right? So it's very important to keep all of this in mind. Also important to keep in mind that to this day, it's the fourth biggest coin in crypto, ignoring stable coins, speculative-wise. It's Ethereum, it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB, and XRP. It's very important to keep in mind that even during the SEC lawsuit, it was like fifth, sixth, seventh biggest coin by market cap in the world. And that means something. That's resilience. That shows you the strength of the project. That shows you that it is indeed a blue chip. That it still has the status that it has. So I don't think it's unreasonable. Like, I'm not gonna sit and argue with people, but like the thing is, we always have perma bulls and perma bears. I've never been either one. I've always been reasonable. I'm neutral when I need to be neutral. I'm bearish when I need to be bearish, and I'm bullish when I need to be bullish. Well, my stance on SIP is very simple. I'm going to buy more if it crashes much further. I'll add more to my bags. I have a lot of bags that I can let it in a 10 to 30 cent range, especially most of it was bought at my target back in the day at 15 cents. I'm still in profit. If I'm going to start selling, it's going to have to be at much higher prices where it is right now. If I'm going to add, it's going to have to be at much lower prices. Currently, I'm not doing anything. I'm just holding and waiting to see which way the market goes, to see if I have to DCA more or start taking profits. And I do believe that it's going to perform well in the cycle, because now we can finally stick to the TA again and no longer have to be worried about the SEC. It now has regulatory clarity, and I really don't know what would have to happen for it to underperform. I think, logically speaking, I don't know. I really don't know what have to be. It will have to be like a comet striking the earth probably at this point. So some kind of black swan event. Basically, that's the point I'm trying to make. Chris Benoff is saying stock index is pumping. Great tweet. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you for the nice comment. So yeah, what I like to see right now, generally, what is happening in crypto is this. So if you look at traditional, basically on all speculative markets, we have very important things happening, right? So stock indexes and stocks are putting in higher highs and higher lows. They're going up, which is very important. If they make new all-time highs, that will be another very important event, because every single time that has happened, Bitcoin put in a new all-time high, and every single time Bitcoin has put in a new all-time high, many altcoins rallied much harder and put in new highs and made us great profits, which is why I love seeing what we're seeing. We just saw one of the biggest companies in stocks with the biggest market capitalizations in the world, Amazon, outperform expectations, which is amazing. It was like kind of a shock for the whole financial sector. Let's look. Let's see what else. Bitcoin put in. Like I tweeted about this like 3 weeks ago, probably showing you that the day Bitcoin bottomed at roughly $15,000, it was the day that I tweeted that in this zone to like 364 days to 410 days, that this is the bottoming zone historically for Bitcoin. I retweeted that a few weeks ago. And that was the day that Bitcoin bottomed before it pumped to $32,000, right? So it works. What we're talking about has worked in the 2 cycles, and it's currently working once again. So we bottomed where we're supposed to bottom in that zone. And we bottomed after a roughly 80% crash, which is historically what Bitcoin does, roughly 80% crash. You don't need perfection, once again, right? When you're investing macro-wise. So roughly in the same time frame, roughly after the same percentage fall. And now it's doing what it's always done after that, putting in higher highs and higher lows, right? While once again, stock markets, stock indexes and stocks are putting in high highs and higher lows and going up, which is always what happened historically. So everything is happening that's always happened in the last 2 cycles is happening right now, which is why it was stick to the plan and everything. What I kept saying is that if something new happens, we'll react and change our plan. But for now, there's no reason to do that because everything that has happened in the past is happening now. The only concern that I have, this was one of the posts on Patreon also weeks ago, where I was talking about that basically during every single bottoming structure for Bitcoin, we always had a double bottom. And the time frame between these double bottoms was huge. It was hundreds of days. And this time around, in this cycle, it was only 12 days. So I asked myself, how strong is that double bottom? And it basically lights this light bulb in my head saying that it's very possible for Bitcoin to retrace to roughly that area and go there much lower, basically, to that zone again to build a double bottom like it has in the past. Do I know whether or not that's going to happen? No. Will it change anything in my strategy? No. Like the point I'm trying to make is I'm just going to follow my plan and dollar cost average. Like for example, we have targets for Bitcoin that are much lower. If you're in a million spreadsheet, you know that. So it wouldn't be anything surprising. It wouldn't be something that takes us by surprise. We anticipate that. That's what the whole strategy is about. It was written before the crashes came. Keep that in mind, right? Like people were telling me once I published the million spreadsheet, people were asking $5 refunds because it cost $5, right? Saying because they believed that I was a dumbass. They said that this time around, crypto is not going to crash due to institutional adoption, utility, and use cases, since the price is driven by utility. So I literally had quite a few people, I would say tens of people, asking for $5 refunds because I was an idiot, apparently. I sent every single person ever asked me for a $5 refund back then. I sent them $10 instead, just to make sure that, since basically I refunded them, and then another $5 was like an apology, so double what they paid, just to make sure that they're happy about everything. And I would just say, look, please do not spread the million spreadsheet. And I had some of these people later on come back and tell me, Rob, you were right. The market did crash that much. So the point I'm trying to make about all this, I'm not saying this to brag. All I'm saying is that the strategy that I used in the last 2 cycles since 2016 worked. And it seems to be working now again. So why change it? Why tweak it? Why do something different while it's working? And it's working. All we have to do is be patient. Many people come into this market and they have the wrong mindset, which is why so many people get burned. Many people would, for example, I'm just saying for the sake of the argument, let's say Bitcoin crashes right now to $12,000 or $8,000, right? A lot of people out there start panicking. A lot of people would probably start calling crypto a scam, start attacking many influencers out to get probably triggered and angry. Whereas my members and I hope my members who I keep teaching and trying to teach them my mindset would get excited. I personally would get excited because it's not something I did not expect. It's on the million spreadsheet, these targets, right? We want these targets to hit because what we know what comes after these targets is huge pumps eventually in the euphoria phase. Don't forget that when everything was up there, people were doubting that we're close to the top. They kept saying that we're not going to go, we're not about to crash roughly 80% and 70% and 90%. They kept saying that Bitcoin instead is about to go to $250,000 or $150,000 or $350,000. Whereas I was saying that, no, I don't believe that's about to happen. I believe we're about to happen, even if I did not sell the exact top, which I don't need to do. I believe it can even go to $80,000 or $85,000. The risk reward is no longer worth it. I was buying from $3,600 to $6,800. I just sold it for roughly 1,500% profit. I'm not going to risk 1,500% profit for another pump from like $60,000 to $85,000. Risk and reward is just not worth it. It's poor risk management, right? That was my point. I'm just going to ignore if the market keeps pumping, and I'm going to get my eventual crash, which is going to be 70 to 80 and 90% crash, right? Where I start dollar cost averaging. What happened? Bitcoin crashed 70%. First of all, Bitcoin went up. Excuse me. So once again, I did not need to nail the exact top. I got amazing ROI, 1,500 percent roughly, and I started waiting for my crash. And every single day I would go and check and I read the silly news that we're about to bounce and everything's about to go high because the fifth wave. And the fifth wave is going to come. Elite waves matter. Everything's going to the moon and this and that. All I had to do was ignore all that noise, remind my patrons to ignore all that noise, and just wait for that 70% crash. We're just talking about Bitcoin specifically, not other things here, the other coins there. So when the 70% crash came, we executed our buy, the course of our strategy. Then what we had to do was wait for after 80% crash. 80% roughly came, we executed our buy. The 90% crash never came, so we did not force more entries. If it comes, we will buy. So far, it hasn't come, so we did not buy. Very straightforward. Now we just wait for the market to pump, and eventually it's going to pump at the euphoria phase, and we're going to take great profits, right? It's very straightforward, very simple, but it requires time, patience, and a realistic understanding and look at the markets, which a lot of people don't want to see. Many people, it's going to sound funny to you, but this is exactly how the human mind works. When a coin is down roughly 90%, people don't want to buy it because it can crash another 90%. And yes, it can crash another 90%, and that's exactly why the strategy is designed for altcoins, to buy after a 90% coin crash roughly, and then keep buying at new lows. If it crashes another 90% with equal amounts of money to bring down your average, right? And diversify, because some coins are going to pump very well and some not. So the strategy is designed that way. So it doesn't matter what I'm trying to say is if it's going to crash 90% or not. My point is that you should not chase the bottom. You should ignore temporary unrealized losses, even if the coin does dump it at 90%, which is what Ethereum did back in the day. It crashed like 85%. They crashed around 85%, which was horrendous. A lot of people were really pissed off. But my target was that I kept saying that it's going to go under $100 eventually. And I just kept dollar cost averaging. And at one point, one of my entries was also down like over 80% because I bought like after 85%. First entry was like after 85% crash. So that first entry was down like 80 or 85%. It was down a lot, basically. I don't remember the exact percent, but it was down a lot. But was I crying or blaming someone? No, the plan was there. It's just that I was not teaching the plan on Patreon. I was just giving all this stuff, information on Twitter for free and teaching people and telling what I'm doing step by step, right? That's what I did. I just basically followed the plan, dollar cost average, what I wanted the dollar cost average. The last goal being that the moment Ethereum goes under $100, that's the last entry I'm executing there. If it goes after $50, I was not willing to buy more because it could go to zero already, right? So thank goodness that did not happen, but it did go below $100, like $92. I believe I bought like 98, somewhere around that there, last entry, and brought down my average. And when Ethereum pumped and made new all-time highs and pumped very well, I made a great profit, right? Same thing goes with happening with other coins. That's all you have to do. Don't chase tops and bottoms. Buy low, sell high. Buy very low, sell very high. David is saying, "Hi Rob, enjoy the Warner Brothers photos. Looked fantastic. Do you recommend Abu Dhabi for a holiday?" Thank you, David. Thank you, brother, for the nice comment. It was amazing. I really loved the Warner Brothers studio, like theme park. It was amazing. I also really liked the Yas Sea World. It was really awesome. I do definitely recommend that if you want to go for a holiday, come to Dubai and Abu Dhabi as a holiday. Like the first time I came to Dubai to see whether or not I want to consider moving here. My family and I came here for like 20 days. We went to Dubai and Abu Dhabi. We spent 20 days here. Went all over the place, and it was a great holiday. So all I can say is that definitely recommend this holiday. I do want to tell you up front, though, that it is pricey, especially if you want to have a good holiday. So yeah, prepare to dish out some cash, my friend. Thomas Horton is saying, time for the serious question. You recommend those headphones? Absolutely, my friend. I must say that I buy a lot of stuff, and a lot of the stuff is that I don't need, but this is probably my best purchase I've made in the last year. These headphones really are the best purchase I've made. They're amazing. They have amazing sound isolation, amazing sound control, amazing sound statistics. Like, I mean, the sound is just beautiful. Functionality is beautiful. They look great. They're very comfy. I love them. I brought the other. I bought the other. What do they call it? Just AirPods Pros. You know, the ones that like not just AirPods, but the little ones, the Pros with rubber. They're not that good, I must say, but these are very good. Gerald Van der Griggen is saying, and that's by the way another member. Great to see you, brother. He's saying, "Hey, Birdie, when you take profit, do you keep it in a stable coin like USDC, or fiat ASAP?" So, of course, in some exchanges like Kraken, for example, you can sell directly into fiat, but many other exchanges you can only sell into a stable coin. But anyway, the point is that what I do is that I start slowly. So I move my money into fiat if I can do that immediately, or I move it to stablecoin and I start basically selling little by little, withdrawing the money to one bank account, and then using that one bank account to spread more money into other bank accounts with small sums. But the point is that, of course, I try to turn everything into fiat as fast as I possibly can. So yeah. Luis Mendez is saying 2 lives in a row. Luis Mendez, 2 lives in a row. No, I do 1 live a day, my friend. 1 live a day. I try to do, as I said, I'm going to try to do 1 live a day for a month. So thank you for joining. But if that upsets you, no need to join. Enjoy something that you do, brother. Luis Mendez says on fire. Okay, I see that you like it. Thank you, my friend, for finding the time to join. I appreciate it. So good to have you here. PB says more you put money into XRP, more you will lose. Well, I don't know, my friend. It probably looks like you got burnt with XRP. It looks like you favored probably. I mean, I may be wrong here. I'm just going to presume what's going to happen. Like since I've been teaching, it looks like you bought XRP at the wrong time and you did not sell it. Probably needed to be sold. It looks like you've been hurt by XRP, and it's not about XRP. It's not XRP's fault, my friend. It's your fault. Just like it would be my fault if I would be accepting XRP or any other coin. It's our fault whenever a coin under delivers and whatnot. Which is why you have to learn to take money from the market and not let the market take money from you. It's not XRP that's bad. It's your strategy. It's what you do with XRP that's bad. Because there are people out there like me who bought when XRP was supposed to be bought with great patience, waiting for those great entries, and are still currently up in a decent, good profit. And it's not just XRP, many other coins also. The number one thing that you want to know is when you buy, right? You only want to buy after huge crashes and only at new lows, with a good difference between those new lows and with the equal amounts of money. So it's not XRP's fault, my friend. Luis Mendes saying, "Hey Rob, member here. Could you do a short update on Doge on Patreon? I'm not sure if we still need to do the second dump of the W pattern, my friend. I don't think that Doge needs an update, but if you're on Patreon, my friend, send me a DM asking your question exactly. Ask me, send me your thoughts and ask the question that you want to ask, and I'll do my best to answer you and help you, my friend. Maybe I'm missing something, not understand something, but please send me a DM. Cheese Smoker saying, do you believe the BTC halving event is as big for the market as it's made out to be? The main catalyst for the bull run? No, I don't think so. I believe that BTC halving events don't matter. The block reward halvings don't matter. I believe what matters is that stock markets and stock indexes start making new all-time highs, because historically that's when Bitcoin started making new all-time highs, and that's when many altcoins, and not all of them, start making new all-time highs or delivering great profits. Thomas Gordon, yeah, absolutely good point, my friend. We don't force entries. We only buy if we get good crashes and we execute there. We definitely do not force now. So, a lot of coins are out of the accumulation phase. Like, for example, Bitcoin is out of the accumulation phase. It's up over roughly 100% currently. Ethereum is up roughly 100%. We only got one entry on Ethereum. So I think that's the least amount of entries we got on Ethereum, but it is what it is. That's what we got. Other targets did not hit. Did we force any entries? No, we did not force any other entries. Who knows? We might get more entries on Ethereum, right? And if we do, we will have deserved it. We will have been rewarded because people are following in at $1,800, $1,500, or they bought with all the money that they had at the $1,000. Not something that we did. We bought, just like around $1,000, and if we buy again, it has to be much lower. The rules are rules. We have to stick to them, my friends. PB saying, it's simple guy like you come to YouTube, speculate 200% put, sell order, and rugs everyone like that. Welcome to crypto market. PB, I'm not quite sure what you mean. You seem very frustrated once again. I don't know exactly what the issue is or what you're trying to say. If you're trying to say that I'm predicting a 200% pump, I just explained at the beginning of this live what I'm referring to, that XRP had a roughly 200% pump. It is up more than both Bitcoin and Ethereum. I do not need to rug anyone. One of the greatest things about what I love about having a Patreon is now that none of my targets are public. None of my market expectations are public. So nobody can say that I'm rugging anyone like they used to make these retarded, stupid comments back in the day. I mean, nobody can say anymore that I'm trying to pop a coin, right? Only my Patreon members know what goes on. So that's that. As for like, once again, I'm not quite sure I understand your comment. You see, this is what I mean. Maybe stop concentrating on XRP so much. Concentrate on diversifying into other projects that have potential to deliver good gains. Buy only after huge crashes. When you buy, make sure that your dollar cost average only at new lows, meaning that buy more only at new lows. Stop favoring one coin over another, and you will see the results, and you'll be better off. So, yeah. Andrew X Crypto, my friend, is asking, what is your favorite coin project and why? I don't have one, my friend. I don't have a favorite project. I don't have a favorite crypto. I purposely talk about certain coins, just like all other people. At least I'm open about it on Twitter and tag them like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP and XLM because they're popular out there. It's important to get engagement so that people actually listen to the message you're sending. Incorporate those coins and talk about them often because it's important to get engagement. Have people listen to what you have to say. Other than that, I don't have a favorite coin. Before, I can tell you that it was XRP and BNB, but it kind of was a good lesson because I thought XRP would be my best performer. It turned out to be one of my worst performers, and I thought BNB would be like an okay performer. It turned out to be my best performer. So it's kind of funny that those two are my favorite coins because one did 100x and the other one did like 20x, right? So yeah. SRP Leatherneck is saying, Rob, when do you think the peak of the bull run will be? Well, if the market cycles move the way they always move, in roughly 4-year cycles, I believe somewhere in 2025, somewhere around that will be the peak of euphoria phase. Egyptian Magician is saying, we can't even get through $1. Yeah, it is what it is, my friend. Currently, we cannot get through $1, and nobody was expecting it. At least my members and I weren't expecting it to get through $1. Well, once again, there was a lot of content both on Twitter and YouTube saying that we're about to turbo moon and keep mooning. We're expecting correction back to 51 to 59 cents. Even then, I'm not going to buy, only at lower targets. He goes on to say, been around 6 years, no noob here. Looks like clickbait, delete. I'm not going to delete anything, Egyptian Magician, because obviously you don't know who I am. If you've been around here for 6 years, you would know that I'm the guy who predicted 15 cents, at $3, where everybody was predicting moon. I'm the guy who bought heavily at 15 cents. Yes, I messed up the $7 to $13 prediction, but then 7 out of my 9 coins delivered: BNB, Link, Bitcoin, Ethereum. So once again, I'm not sure. And like, if you try to make me out to be some kind of moon boy, that's just not me. I mean, once again, people who watch my content know who I am. So Egyptian Magician probably. I mean, I'm with you. I'm with you in terms of like being anti moon boy. But if you're trying to make me out to be a moon boy, but I mean, just like come on. PB, in the movies, The Wolf of Wall Street, they are clear. They stole our money, us little retail. Well, what do you mean, my friend? Like, who stole our money? Like, the way the markets are programmed, the institutional investor basically does everything that they can to create hype to make sure that you buy while they exit. And then they also create fear to make sure that you don't buy so that you don't raise the price so they can buy for and have a great entry, right? A lot of the majority of retail falls for that. What I try to do is I try to think as an institutional investor, despite having much less money than they do, and it has helped me to navigate my way through the market. So I buy in dollar cost average where nobody wants to buy usually. It's just a small majority of people, and I sell where everybody starts coming into the market, expecting high prices, euphoria everywhere, greatest part of the world. Everybody's having a great time. Nobody wants to sell. Everybody's scared to miss the top. Greed kicks in. That's when I started selling, right? Because I want to see perfection. I keep it realistic. All I want to do is buy low, sell high, buy very low, sell very high. That's it. David is saying some negative comments here shows that these people are impatient and not taking responsibility for the actions. I would say that Rob has the most mature attitude I've listened to. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate that. Thank you, David, for the nice comment. Yeah, I mean, they'll always be around because unfortunately there'll always be market participants that buy and FOMO into pumps and because are max use of certain coins. It seems like people who, like, they have to understand people who have nasty comments are people who basically, people who got burnt on certain projects. It seems like currently there are people here who got burnt by XRP, probably people who followed into the pump, where I was reading that do not follow into the pump. And if you remember, you were expecting a retracement, and if you remember, you did not buy there. So, I guess as people who got hurt by XRP, there are other people always pissed off. So these people look for some kind of relief, and because they're angry since they're at losses. People who are in profit are not pissed off, and they're commenting on YouTube videos. You know what I mean? 50-50. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I still hold my bag. Thomas Gordon saying seems like some salty people in the chart today. Chill out, guys. Rob has a great track record for predictions and only helps people. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate that. Once again, I don't know why you're salty with me. I'm not the one who's telling you that we're about the turbo moon and that everything is about to pump and all that. So I don't know why they're salty with me. Whoever that they salty at, please go and direct your saltiness that way. Rob, what do you think about those coins that were talked a lot about and now hear nothing, like Harmony? CELR, RSR, Dent, Teller. Do you think they will come back? I think that there are coins that are going to come back. I have some of the coins that people don't talk about in my portfolio, although that they're talked about. If you're willing to pay for paid groups and analyze what's being told to tens of thousands of people in these paid groups and whatnot, they are talked about. I do believe that some of them will make comebacks, and I do believe that some of them will not make comebacks. And how to measure that? With certainty, nobody knows, which is why we have the strategy that we have. Once again, don't forget that Doge in the last cycle, which pumped incredibly well, was so dormant for such a long time. It's crashed so hard. It was dormant, not doing anything while coins were pumping and taking off. People already wrote it off as dead. Yeah, my battery might die, so don't get surprised, guys, if the life ends too soon. But anyway, they had written it off already. What happened? Doge outperformed nearly every single coin in existence out there. It went crazy, right? And it was dormant, and it was thought it was dead. Nobody talked about it. It was like, oh, that's it. One cycle, meme coin. It's a piece of crap. It's never coming back. And then the comeback that it made, I mean, it was insane. All right, my friends, please kindly put a like. I really appreciate your time. I'm going to bounce, and I'm going to have late dinner. Got to spend some time with my family, keep working on Patreon and answering students. Look at some charts. Please put a like. Remember everything that we just discussed here in terms of the not following into green candles, only buying at new lows, being patient, selling only after huge pumps, and sticking to the strategy. Basically, if you're a member on Patreon, send me DM and ask any question that you want, and I'll do my best to help. And also, remember, don't force entries. If you really want to buy new coins, right, that I keep reiterating, there are some coins that can still be accumulated, and some of these coins are currently down like 90 to 95%. So you can buy those coins, right? You can buy, like, for example, take a small amount of money, let's say like 10% of your portfolio, go find some gems to buy some of those gems, diversify, get like 20 gems or something, 30 more, maybe more. Throw like literally 100, 200, 300 bucks, whatever small sums are for you, into these gems, hold these gems, and in the euphoria phase, a lot of these gems will deliver and really help you bring your portfolio up in terms of profits. If you can be bothered to do that, I do have a $99 tier on Patreon where you can join, and I have 28 coins there right now. Every single coin has a separate post, take profit strategy, trailing, take profit and stop loss, the amount that I bought with the entry that I have, and of course, you have all the updates as the market moves forward. So if you don't want to do the work, I do the heavy lifting. I do a lot of work. Like I said, I do pay for paid websites, newsletters, Telegram channels, all that good stuff, basically, to make sure to see what's being shielded consistently to the retail investor by people with large followings. So yeah. Remain patient. Remember that cycles move the way that they move. You can't force the cycles to do what you want them to do. Remember that you'll have to earn huge amounts of patience. Just because we want markets to pump tomorrow doesn't mean it's going to happen. I know that you keep hearing that Bitcoin is going to $250,000 this year. It's not going to $250,000 this year. I know you keep hearing that utility coins like XLM, XRP, or XGT are going to pump 10,000% this year. They're not going to pump 10,000% this year. Everything moves. 99% of coins move in the euphoria stage. They're going to move in the euphoria stage, and a lot of them are not going to move. A lot of them will move, and a lot of them will not move. Therefore, diversify and increase your chances of catching coins that do move very well. All right, my friends, got that out of the way. 1 hour. Wow, that's a record there. That was a long one. Thank you very much, and have an amazing day. Catch you guys on Patreon and Twitter. Bye-bye.